turn off the camera?
Yes, please. It would be better if all of you have your camera on. I know that the connection is a little bad lately, but let's give it a try. So this is your official debate activity for task 3 in the English conversation course, and I hope you all have a great performance during this encounter. Remember that this is something that you already practiced on your weekly for the task 7 with your weekly tutor for the Skype encounters too. So don't worry, just take into account the advice that you already practiced, vocabulary for debates, and I hope that you're well prepared for the topic we're going to debate tonight because it's a really important topic if you already read something about it. All right? So, the dynamic. We're going to start with a presentation, like a personal information, right? I'm going to do it and then all of you are going to have 1 minute per student to introduce yourself. It has to be something really short, something brief. After that presentation, individually, each one of you is going to give me a summary of the video that you saw for this debate. Remember that the video is titled "Learning a Language as an Adult." So you have to give me like a summary or a general idea of what you remember from the video. And the amount of time for that second activity, that is individual, is a maximum of 1 minute and a half. Okay, so you have 1 minute and a half maximum to give me your general idea of the topic based on the video that you had to watch. After those two individual parts, I mean your personal presentation and your presentation of the general idea of the topic, I'm going to divide the team into groups. One group is going to be defending the idea present by the video, and the other one is going to defend the opposite idea. But that's not chosen yet. I'm going to choose it after each one of you give me your general idea of the topic. Once I assigned the group and the topic that each group is going to defend, you're going to have 10 minutes to prepare with your group. Remember, it's as a group, all right? So you're going to have with your group 10 minutes to prepare your ideas, the reasons, your arguments that are going to use in order to defend your position. Either way, if you're defending adults or if you're defending children. Then, after those 10 minutes of preparation, as a group, you're going to have a maximum of 10 minutes to present your point of view. But again, that part is as a group. Okay, it's not like, okay, we choose Olga to speak for all of us. No, each one of you have to speak in that part. All of you have to cooperate in order to present an argument your position. After that performance of 10 minutes for each group, you're going to have a round of questions. So that round of questions is going to be like the actual debate. Remember that a debate is an interaction where you're supposed to be able to defend an idea. So through some questions, rhetorical questions that you're going to prepare for the opposite team, you're going to interact with each other in order to attack, we could call it like that, attack the opposite idea and defend your own, presenting arguments, reasons, examples, all of that based on the information that you have researched about the topic. And finally, after we do that practice, you're going to have the conclusion. The conclusion is going to be 1 minute for each one of you, and it's going to be individual, okay? So, is it clear the dynamic of the exercise, or do you have any questions?
It's clear for me, teacher.
Yes? Perfect. So let's start the presentation. I'm going to introduce myself first, and then each one of you is going to do it, but let me share with you my screen so you can see the watch. Can you see the watch? Give me a
Yes,
moment.
teacher.
Right here. Remember that each of one of those steps have a specific amount of time. So please be really attentive with the stopwatch so I don't have to interrupt you because I really consider that something rude and I don't want to have to interrupt you. But remember that in case you take more time than the assigned, I'm going to say like, okay, stop right there, stop talking. So try to be really attentive with the time in order for that to not to happen. Okay? So let's start with the introduction. Remember, it has to be something really brief. Tell me.
Teacher, the presentation summary and individual opinion is in 1 minute.
No, 1 minute for your personal introduction. And then after that, 1 minute and a half to do the summary of the video. But first, we're going to give each one of you a minute only to introduce yourself. Then, a minute and a half for each one of you to give me your ideas of the video. Okay? Okay, good. So, let's start. I'm going to start and then you introduce yourself. My name is Adriana Martinez Mendibelson. I'm from Granada Meta. I'm 19 years old and I'm a bachelor degree in English as a foreign language. I actually started at UNAD and I'm finishing my career. But right now I'm working as an English teacher in a high school here in my town where I teach classes to children and teenagers. But I've been teaching for a couple of years already. And currently I'm studying a postgraduate program focused on high education level. Also, during this semester, I'm tutoring these encounters for the English conversation course, and it's something that I really, really love. I love teaching, I love English, and I really hope we can have a great encounter and a great exercise tonight. Okay? So, let's go with give me a moment. I have your names here. Let's go with Alexis. Alexis, can you start, please?
Yes, teacher.
Remember, only 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay. Okay, my name is Alexis Gonzalez. I'm from Cali, but I live in Zipaquirá, Cundinamarca. Currently, I study degree in English as a foreign language. This is my 8th semester. I'm 31 years old. I like watching movies. I like listening music. Um, Currently, I work in a mall as a seller. Um, and I enjoy to do that. But I'm preparing for do a teacher. That is something that is different to my job. And thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alexis. Thank you. So now let's go with Alidio. Alidio, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, go ahead. Give us your introduction.
Okay, hi everyone. I am Alirio Beltran. I'm from Bogota. Currently, I work as a military English instructor. That's my job from this year. I began this process like 2 years ago, approximately. I really enjoy teaching. This is a process that I just start in my career. I'm really happy because I think that I achieved one of my goals in my life. And I am 32 years old. I'm married. I have a little lovely daughter, which is right here next to me. And but definitely this is a really beautiful process. I'm really happy to share these ideas with you. And so I am ready to debate with you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks to you, Alidio. So now let's go with Monica. Monica, go ahead. 1 minute.
Hello everyone, my name is Monica Sanabria. I am 31 years old. I am from Bucaramanga, but I have been living for 2 months in Cartagena. I am a technologist in integrated management systems. Also, I am a finally semester of the bachelor degree in English. I am also advancing as a degree option credit of the distance early education specialization. I have been married for 10 years and I have a daughter. Her name is Mariana, who is my inspiration and main motivation. No more. Thank you.
Thanks to you, Monica. Great. So now let's hear Olga. Olga, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Go ahead.
Hello,
Hello.
I am Olga Carreño. I am from Bogota, but I live in Bucaramanga. I am 34 years old. I am studying Bachelor in English as a second foreign language. I am taking 7 semesters. I don't have experience in teaching English, and I am project in this moment, but I wish to teach some. I like read, listen music in English, and I love English and try to improve with different ways by practicing all days. I am married. I have 2 children, one boy and one daughter. I live with my husband, and we have I
Okay,
like
thank you. I'm sorry. Sorry, Olga, but thank you. That's great. So now let's hear Juliet. Are you ready?
Yes, thank you. Well,
Okay.
hi everyone. My name is Juliet Campo. I am 20 years old. I am in the 8th semester of the bachelor. I born in Bogota, but right now I live in Cajica, Cundinamarca. I live with my parents, my sister, and her dog named Nala. Um, Currently, I am an academic tutor for a 7 years old girl in the morning. In the afternoons, I am an English teacher for also a 7 years old boy. And in the Saturdays, I also teach in an institute of modern languages. Um, well, I don't know. I really like teaching. I feel this kind of passion that I don't feel with
Okay.
anything else. That's all. Sorry. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much, Juliet. I really feel what you're saying, but sorry for stopping you. Perfect. Thank you so much. Now let's hear Viviana. Viviana, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Viviana Carolina Cuestas. I born in Salomina Caldas, but I live in Cali. I am married. I am 35 years old. I have 2 children, one boy and one girl. I work as English teacher in an elementary school with children of fourth and fifth grade, and kindergarten too. I love teaching. I have a pet. Okay, that is all. Thank you so much.
Thanks to you, Viviana. Okay, guys, so now that we know each other, we're going to do the presentation of your general idea of the topic.
Teacher, I haven't
Remember,
presented myself.
oh my God, sorry, Camilo. I have you in another list and oh, I'm so sorry. You weren't on my regular list. Go ahead, Camilo. Go ahead.
Well, teacher, classmate, hi to everyone. My name is Camilo Almeida. I'm a lieutenant of the National Police. I'm from Bucaramanga, Santander, but I live in Riohacha, La Guajira. I've been living in Riohacha for about 5 years now. Well, I'm working at the moment. I love learning English. I have been learning the language for about 3 years maybe. and I really like it, and I would like to be a teacher in the future and try to improve my English and my knowledge. Um, Happy to be here with you and to share knowledge and learn from each other. That's it, teacher.
Okay, thank you. I'm so sorry, Camilo. I didn't have you in my list yet, so that's why I didn't mention you. Sorry.
Don't worry.
Okay, so now that all of you have introduced, we can continue with the second part. As I said before, in the second part, you only are supposed to give me your general idea of the topic based on what you saw in the video. Remember that the video is that one from that YouTuber kind of teacher who have learned a lot of languages, and he's talking about the idea that adults are better English learners or language learners. So you're gonna have a maximum of 1 minute and a half, okay? But again, try to respect your time because I don't like to interrupt you. And it's not necessary in this part that you state your specific position on the topic, okay? It's just like a review of what you have checked on that video, okay? Let's start with Olga. Are you ready?
Okay.
Go ahead.
The video is about the answer with Steve give in some questions they are in his blog. He said that the child and adults don't have a big difference to learn English because adults and child try to look for funny strategies to learn, and he said he has a student called named Irene. She is 60 years old, and she is funny. She has fluently developed in this language because she tried to find different ways to learn. That the video that tried learning a language as a group.
Okay. Thank you so much. Guys, can I ask you for a favor? Try to keep your mic off if you're not talking, okay? That will be better for us because in that way we don't hear like the interference from the other mics, all right? So thank you so much, Olga. Let's go with Alirio.
Okay, okay, teacher.
Yeah.
Okay, so he has like a good outlook about the experience that he has about those pros and cons between the children and the adults. Definitely, he prefers like the learning adult process during like during that learning in the second language. So there are some advantages for children, for example, like they are not embarrassed, like they are not concerned, they are not afraid to talk in front of people. Even like make mistakes is definitely not a problem for them. And that's something that is a heavy burden for us. It's really difficult for us make mistakes in front of people, especially if those people are younger than us, because so people is are kind of judgmental. So in that case, that's the problem for us. We try to like not to talk as a child. We try to talk as an adult. So making mistakes definitely it's a concern for us. That's the first thing. But he highlighted something special, which is the experience that adults have. So, for example, you have experience in Spanish. We have a lot of words in common. We have a lot of true coordinates. So, yeah, you can take advantage of that and like compare those words, those experience, that experience. Sorry, so you can connect your ideas
Okay.
easily if you have an idea.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, Alirio. I'm
No
sorry
worries.
for this
Okay.
for interrupting you. Thank you for your opinion. Now let's hear Monica. Monica, are you ready? Remember, 1 minute and a half as a maximum. Okay?
Yes, teacher.
Go ahead.
The video tells us about the personal opinion of Mr. Steve and how adults can learn languages without real difficulty. He recognized that children have a more flexible connective capacity since children's minds are open to different sounds, intonations. Also, children don't feel shame or fear of making mistakes. They take learning as a fun or game. On the other hand, adults have the advantage of knowledge, literacy, and experience for their languages. However, Mr. Kampmann recognized that adults are much more innovative when trying to speak in another languages. Because don't like to fear obligate and face situation in which they can look stupid. You look at children who, as I mentioned earlier, did not they are ashamed to speak and make mistakes. It's all, teacher.
Thank you, Monica. Great job. Now let's hear Camilo. Camilo, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, teacher, like to summarize the video, the man was talking about the advantages and disadvantages of learning a language when you're a child or learning a language where you're an adult. And he claims that there are a lot of advantages when learning as a child, like for example when you don't feel ashamed or you don't feel like afraid of speaking or talking in front of people or making mistakes. Instead of when you're an adult, then you can feel a little bit ashamed or you want to be foolish. You just want to talk and speak in a better way. Also, that when you're a child, you're exposed to some kind of vocabulary, and when you're an adult, of course, you're exposed to a different kind of vocabulary, and you develop different abilities, different things when you learn a language. For example, when you're a child, you learn more, or you learn in a better way, for example, sounds or things of the kind. And when you're an adult, you learn more concepts and you have a better experience in order to talk in different topics.
Mhm. Okay, thank you so much, Camilo. Perfect. Now let's hear Viviana. Go ahead, Viviana.
Okay, teacher. He talks about the fact that the children do not suffer from scare when they speak English. So it is easier for them to learn while the adult has more difficult breaking those barriers. The children have an easier time learning, but this doesn't mean the adults cannot learn another language. As he say in his video about a lady who speaks German and she is currently having many advances in the learning English and improve her skills in English. Okay, that is all, teacher.
Okay, thank you so much. Perfect. Now let's hear Juliet talking about the topic. Go ahead, Juliet.
Okay, teacher. Well, the other teacher, talk about meaning of learning a language as an adult. He said that adults have different advantages over children, because adults have more experience in everything, like learning their own native language. So that gives them the opportunity to see a new language with a full range of new opportunities and new vocabulary and such. He also says that uh, while yes, adults have some difficulties when learning the language, children too, and well, it touched a really interesting point when he said that if adults were offered 1 million, they will achieve a really high range of proficiency against children. So I think that we can link that to our own motivation. So yes, that's all.
Okay. Thank you, Juliet. Perfect. Finally, let's hear. mm, let's hear Alexis.
Okay, teacher. In the video, the men talk about the advantages and disadvantages of learning a language as an adult. Um, they, he says that the children they not feel embarrassed for talking for something, and they are not concerned. And meanwhile, adults feel embarrassed to speak in front to other person and commit mistakes, and due to that feeling, feel a little bit full for that. And other thing that he says that is adults can can say what they want. For example, for expressing your ideas with right grammar, they they stop with the fear for commit mistakes.
Okay.
There is that. Okay.
Sorry. I'm sorry, Alexis, but time is over. Thank you so much for your performance. Monica, let me ask you something. Did you already give me your summary of the video?
Sorry, teacher.
Did you already give me your summary of the video?
Yes, teacher.
Yes? Okay, perfect. I mixed the names. Okay, perfect. So now, let me share with you the list that I created for you. Did you see or are you watching this Canva in the presentation? Yes or no?
Yes, teacher.
Yes.
Yes, teacher.
Yes,
Yes, teacher.
So,
Yes, teacher.
I have here like the two teams that we're going to manage for this encounter. Remember that the general topic is age in foreign language learning, and we have two different positions. The first position, that is the one who is going to be the pro team, because of the same idea that it was introduced in the video, is the idea that adults could be better at learning a foreign language. And the team that is going to work defending that position is going to be Alirio, Olga, Viviana, and Camilo. Okay, you're going to be the pro team. On the other hand, we're going to have the opposite idea, and that one is going to defend that children actually are better at learning foreign language. which means that that team is going to be the con team. And this team is going to be Juliet, Monica, and Efrain. Okay? So, guys, I need that Juliet, Monica, and Efrain share your Skype IDs on the chat so you can create a group apart from this one and prepare your ideas for the debate, okay? This is the moment where you're gonna have 10 minutes to prepare your performance as a group, okay? Remember that that performance is gonna last at least 10 minutes, a maximum of 10 minutes, and it's going to allow you, or it's going to be the time where you're going to express your arguments to support your point of view. In the case of Alirio, Olga, Viviana, and Camilo, you have to prepare what ideas, arguments, and reasons and examples you're going to use to defend the idea of adults being better at learning foreign languages. While Juliet, Monica, and Efrain, you have to organize your ideas in order to defend that children are better in this process. All right? So again, Juliet, Monica, and Efrain, share in the chat your Skype users. Thank you, Juliet. So this is what we're gonna do. Efrain, or Alexis, Juliet, and who's the other? And Monica are going to leave this call. Okay? Leave this call and and create a group by your own. And Alirio, Viviana, Olga, and Camilo can stay in this call. I'm going to turn off my mic. I'm not going to hear you. You're going to be only preparing this, okay? But I need the other group to be out of the call. All right? So you have the permission to hang up the call and organize your team as your own, okay?
Okay,
Okay,
right,
teacher.
teacher, thank you.
Remember,
Monica,
you're gonna have
I'm
10
going
minutes.
to create the group. 10 minutes from now.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, partners.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello,
Okay.
mate.
Okay. Now, well, I have some part about that because I think that I have to prepare for the face the adults, no, that the adults. I have the prepare all because I think that yes, I suppose that I will defend the adults. Okay, I have a research. I search in internet about that. I don't know if you have that or no. No?
Okay.
No, I didn't look
I don't
for
know
anything
if
of
maybe
that.
we can share the job. I'm not sure how will be the interview hold, like, because we can like probably we can share that time. So, for example, if the teacher asks something about the pros, or I mean the advantages, so I can defend that. It's just an example. For example, another mate, sorry, I don't see your names, but I know that Camilo is with us. So, for example, if Camilo prepare a presentation about the cons, like the disadvantages, so he will answer that question, or he will defend that point of view. So if you agree, we can do that in these 10 minutes, unless that maybe you think that we must prepare ourselves like in both topics. What do you think about that?
Okay, I agree with that. Maybe I can give a brief introduction, if you are agree with that. An introduction about the topic. Yes, the learning, the process of the learning the English in the as adults. Yes, it's a little introduction. And
Okay,
then you continue with you said.
what do you think, Olga and Alex, Camilo?
I read about
Well, I agree with you. I think that's okay.
Okay,
I
Camilo agree. Camilo agrees. How about you, Olga?
I read about some it is why adults are better in English. So I can support the idea Viviana because she gave the introduction about the topic. Yeah.
Yes, I
Okay,
give
and
an
Alex?
I
introduction.
can give yeah I can support the idea the introduction because I have some reasons why adults are better in English.
Okay, so far, Olga, and Viviana. Okay, you're gonna give not just the introduction. You also will defend your point. Okay, so
Uh-huh.
Camilo, what do you think if you and me and I work about the disadvantages of learning a second language as a child? Okay, so in that case, we can attack them. And Camilo, do you agree?
Yeah, that's fine, partner. Don't
Okay,
worry, that's
Camilo,
fine.
but Alex, are you with us? Alex? Okay, so let's continue. So now, remember, Olga, Olga and Viviana, please work on your point in the just okay, introduction are the advantages. And Camilo and I, we will work about the disadvantages about learning as a kid, so we can attack them. So we have 5 minutes, so you can work on it. Maybe you can share any idea during these 5 minutes, and I will get ready my resource. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, please, Olga, can you send me your sky and I will send you about a little information about the topic. Send me in the
Olucia.aro.
yes.
Okay.
Send me.
Olucia.aro.
Oh, right in
Okay.
the. Oh my God,
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
chat, right in the chat. Okay, thank you. Olga, are you there?
Yeah.
I send you the
Uh,
invitation in the sky.
Okay, guys, are you ready?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, okay, perfect. Give me a minute while the other girls connect to the call again, okay? Hmm.
Okay, teacher.
Hey, we are back. Sorry.
Don't worry. Let's wait for Monica. Okay, Monica is there. Perfect. So, guys, now that all of you had enough time to get ready, remember your teams, okay? Alirio, Olga, Viviana, and Camilo are defending the pro team. That means you're going to defend adults age. Juliet, Monica, and Alex are defending the co-team, which means you're defending the children age, all right? During the next stage, you're supposed to give a performance as a group for a maximum of 10 minutes. Take into account that during those 10 minutes, all members of the group have to speak. So please try to be really polite with your classmates and don't take all the time for yourself. Because if you do it, you're not going to leave enough time for the others to speak. So give your ideas, of course, but let enough time for the other members of your team to participate too. Now, I also need that while, for example, while Alirio's team is doing their performance, I need the other group, I mean Juliet's team, to be really attentive, of course, to what the other group is saying, but also to prepare a couple of questions to the other group. Okay? Those questions have to be like rhetorical because those are the questions we're gonna need or we're gonna use to do the interaction part. In the interaction part, remember you're supposed to defend your position, but also try to attack the opposite idea. And in order to attack it, you have to use a couple of questions that are rhetorical in order to establish that difference between both arguments, all right? So I need that while the other group is performing, you're taking into account the notes in order to create a couple of questions. No more than two questions because anyways time is not enough for doing more than two. Did you understood?
Yes, teacher.
Got
Yes,
it.
teacher. Yes.
Okay, perfect. So let's start with the pro team, I mean Alidio's team. But I want to know who of you is going to be the first one in starting
Olga and
the
Viviana.
performance.
Olga and Viviana, miss.
Olga is the first?
No,
Vivian.
it's Viviana. Viviana is the first one.
Viviana is the first. Okay, perfect. So Viviana, remember you can start now.
Okay, teacher. Well, kids are like a language sponge, is a belief continued in the media. The mantra goes like this: little kids are like a language sponge. They pick up any words and phrases you throw at them and will learn a language very easily. And the myth goes on the claim that adults have missed the boat. They are starting way too late to ever reach and any respectable level of expensive is a foreign language, and they'll definitely never sound like a native speakers. Adults can learn languages and the deliberate way. The structure of practicing new sentences is one of these keys: analyze, understand, apply, and repeat. There is no need to cram your way through grammar books as you learn a new language. It's totally possible to speak when you haven't even touched on any grammar yet. I did it is like last week, and I have a okay. But the key, the key to using grammar to your advantage is in using it is to answer your question. Next time you hear some days say sentences in your target language, repeat and try saying something different with the same structure. Well, the advantage, the benefits to adults is have more experience, so they will able to make more vocabulary association and they learn it. Adults have a
Viviana,
larger. Okay, stop.
sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
Go. Okay. The reason why adults are better learning English is because the cognitive mature gives the better concentration to in order to analyze sentences. That reason adults don't need grammar books because they have the concentration and the capacity to analyze the sentences and to find the structure of the grammar natural. The adults have the advantage to follow instructions easily and to read or to find different strategies and write and reading and listening and the use the context, the sentences, the structure easily. Adults can learn language deliberate the structure of practicing new sentences in one of the in new sentences. The greeting helps adults to develop develop the assimilation, the phrases in common day. So they are some good reason and have different ways to practice and improve the language.
Okay, Camilo?
Well, yes. Well, there are a few disadvantages and advantages, of course, in learning a language as a child. I'm going to mention like some disadvantages maybe, and the lack of concentration, as our partner said. When you're a child, it's very difficult to get the concentration of the children when you are teaching the language to them. Also, that when you are learning a language as a child, you are learning first of all your mother language, your native language. So the children cannot get involved into languages in a better way. So I think that the children first of all needs to learn the language, their native language. Also, they can get confused, and that could be a waste of time. Also, that we have to like find teachers well trained in order to know how to teach a language to a child, because it's very different to teach to a child to teach to an adult. And also that you don't have a lot of experience, you cannot like earn a lot of vocabulary, and the topics that is able to speak a child are not the same topics that is able to speak an adult. I think that.
Okay, so as my mates already mentioned it, actually, I know that definitely that process can have some disadvantages, but actually the advantages are much more than that. For example, I want to make a comparison between the children learning process between the adult learning process. For example, if you give a child, you give a goal to a child, like to achieve, and you give a goal or a target to an adult, that's totally different. That child probably will take that as a game, like no seriously. Now, look at the difference between an adult. If you give him or her a kind of target or goal to achieve during 1 year, he will take that as a challenge. So he will take things seriously. Actually, he will do his or her best during that learning process. So definitely that's a good advantage if you compare between the children or between the kids. So that's the difference for me. So how long it takes for for a children for a child to learn that? For how long it takes to a children to get a fluent process English? Probably 4, 5, 6, 7 years during the bilingual process. Now, if you compare that with a adult process, that's totally different. You can get the same point in 3 years. I think that maximum 4 years. So that's the best point if you compare that. Now, the another thing is the experience. The experience give us great advantages. So we have connect our ideas. You can know English. You can get you are okay. Can you turn off your microphone? I don't know who because we please turn off your microphones. So the another thing is that what kind of vocabulary a kid learns. It actually the basic vocabulary that he can she can. Why? Because actually the vocabulary that children learn is just a survival one, like the vocabulary to know how to eat, how to ask something, and that's it. Now, in the another hand, we have adults. That's totally different. We learn vocabulary not only for survive. Actually, we try to go more than that, like to overcome our same level in the native language. So that's the another point. So now you have the advantage of the time, the advantage of connect your ideas, and you have also the commitment. The commitment of a adult is different about the commitment of a children of a child. That's totally different. For example, a child after 2 or 3 hours during studying during that day or any day, that guy child if we get bored. That's the difference if we compare with an adult. An adult, the commitment in an adult will be totally different. That adult will try to face to expose himself the more he can. For example, to try to talk, to try to speak, reading, writing. So that's also that advantages. See that advantage we if we compare. So now to summarize our ideas, definitely we have much more advantages between those processes. Adults definitely have the advantage to win in this competition. We will win. Definitely adults. That's my conclusion. Thank you. Teacher, if you are talking, we cannot hear you.
Thank you, Alili. Okay, thank you so much to the first group. I hope that Monica, Juliet, and Alexis took notes in order to create the questions that I mentioned you have to prepare, okay? Now we're gonna do the same exercise, but with the other team. So Monica's group is gonna have 10 minutes as a maximum to present your ideas in order to support your position. And Viviana's group is going to be listening, taking notes, and preparing a couple of questions, okay? So, for the next group, who's gonna start? Monica, Alexis, or Juliet?
Me, Monica.
Monica.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Beginning language learning at an early age is good due to the innate abilities of young children to learn new things, absorb different sounds, phrases, intonation, pronunciation, will consider less effort than an adult has to do. Numerous studies shows that the ideal time to learn another languages as acquired is naturally is between 0 and 7 years old. For example, Dr. Paul Thompson, UCLA professor of neurology, discovered with his team that the brain system that especially in learning new languages grow faster between the age of 6 and puberty. Later, this system is done growing from 11 to 60 years old during puberty. Another benefit of learning a second language as a child is that children think more simple than adults. They use fewer words, simple sentences, and less abstract ideas. Children who are learning a second language are not overwhelmed by having to communication their staff thought and feeling and their second language because they simply are not aware of them. Continue,
Okay.
Juliet.
Okay, thank you, partner. Okay, we believe that children are actually better at learning languages mainly because um, it is well known that a children's brain allows them to absorb languages in a more natural way. Um, and that allows them also to achieve a great pronunciation. It is because children in early ages learn subtle differences that they are learned automatically when they start learning the language, something that doesn't happen with adults. And this is a matter of genetics that gives them the opportunity to produce a better pronunciation. So children, adults, for example, need to be more disciplined because they don't have the time sometimes to dedicate to this kind of learning. But children can give amount of time to their daily activities to focus on the learning of the of 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 the language. But I also think that children can be drive to have great motivation besides adults. They can learn this language and produce, for example, problem solving skills that gives them a wide range of knowledge in order to produce and to speak and to listen and to write and develop all those language skills that allows them to be better at learning a language. Alexis?
Okay. Okay, thank you, partner. Other thing that is important to highlight is that children can get abilities easier than adults because they are more spontaneous than them. They don't feel embarrassment if they are wrong when they are asking something to their teachers, for example. They ask everything if they don't understand something without feel any kind of fear. And conversely, the adults are inhibited to do that. Children are less limited to express their ideas. They can speak with more fluency and better pronunciation. And children figure the topics out easier than adults, and the new information is testing quickly. Other thing that is important to stand up is children have more free time than adults because they don't have responsibilities to fulfill. For example, they don't have to go to the job because in change an adult go to the job and for long hours and their time is short for practice or for improve their studies. That's all. That's my point of view.
Okay. Juliet and Monica, are you going to add something else?
Really.
No, or that's it? Okay, perfect. It's okay. Great job, guys. Thank you so much for all your interactions. You're doing a great job. And now we're going to continue with the next stage of this activity. Remember that now it comes the actual debate. In this part, you're going to defend your ideas, all right? We're going to do it through a round of questions exercise, but let me explain a little thing, okay? Imagine that Viviana is the first one in ask something to the other group. Viviana is going to do the question, I don't know, to Juliet, for example. Juliet answer, but if one of the members of Juliet's team wants to support that answer, he or she can do it, okay? Now, after the team responds, Viviana's team, I mean the one who's asking, has the opportunity to present a contra argument, okay? In the case you don't want to, it's okay, but if you have, you, Viviana, or other member of Viviana's team wants to present a contra argument, you can do it. I'm sorry, the one who is with the mic on, can you turn it off while I'm, thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to repeat it, all right? Imagine that Viviana is asking the first question. She asked, I don't know, to Juliet. Juliet answers, but if one of Juliet's team's member wants to add something else, he or she can do it. After the Juliet's team answer, if Viviana's team members wants to present a counter argument, you can do it. Okay, it's not only like asking and answering and that's it. No, it's in order to generate a debate, an interaction. You have to say, but I don't agree with you, or yeah, that you have a point there, but I think like generate that kind of interaction between both positions. All right, in order to see how are you able to defend an idea. Is it clear?
Yes, teacher.
Yes, teacher.
Okay, perfect. So let's start. Let's start with Monica's team questions. Okay. I don't know who of you guys, if Monica, Alexis, or Juliet, are going to be the first one asking. And please, when you ask the question, assign someone to answer first, okay? So from Monica's team, who's going to ask first?
Okay, teacher. My question is for I don't know, Viviana. Sorry, Viviana.
Go ahead.
Ay, why me? Go ahead. Don't worry, don't worry.
From your personal experience, do you consider that you learning more about the English languages when you were in a school and you were younger or now that you are university and you are an experienced adult?
Well, thank you for that question. When I was younger than now, or child, that was a difficult learn English because the all time the topic was verb to be and translate the little paragraph or learn the 100 verbs in the present, past, and past participle, no more. And that was difficult for me. Actually, I think is more easier. It's easier than in the past learn English because there are a lot of tools that give me in the process. In the past, was very poor the process because the teacher, the only teach was verb to be and 100 leads of the verbs. But actually, the education changed the method and have had new methods for teach the English. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for you.
No contra argument? That's it? Maybe
No,
Juliet?
teacher,
Okay, perfect. It's okay. So now let's hear one of the questions from Alirio's team. Maybe Olga, maybe Viviana, Camilo, I don't know.
I have
Who
a
will pick?
question, if you don't
Okay,
mind, classmates, or you mind.
it's okay. Go ahead.
Okay, okay. So this question is for Alex because it was one of your supports. So you said that a child can figure a topic out easily, like easier than an adult. And actually, or indeed, I think it's the opposite. And it's not what I think. It's about research said. So there is a research that has shown that another advantage that an adult have above the child is the skills that they have already developed in their first language. So they have the ability to predict the meaning of unfamiliar words from the context. Now here is my question. How can a child figure a topic out if they don't have enough vocabulary and sense about how to connect ideas, how to figure out new words or new vocabulary?
Okay, well, I think that children um receive the sounds in best way, and their cognitive development is barely starting. They can understand the different topics in a best way, better than adults. Um, I think that is because they have the brain with new ideas and new knowledge, and they can memorize easier than adults vocabulary and topics that is taught in class. I, this is my position, I guess.
I want to add something too. Okay. Well, I think that that question can be easily answered by stating that we are humans, and one of our primary, I don't know, skills is learning. Humans can learn by discovery. So children are the students that show this kind of learning more than anyone else on their development stages. That where when they are a child, they can learn by discovering. So that can be applied of what you asked.
Okay, I know that they can learn by discovering, and I don't have any point against that. But my point is like, oh, sorry, my microphone was okay. So I agree with that. Definitely, it could be a good point for children, but it's not my point. Like the point is how they can figure out a topic. So they can discover. But for example, if the child is just like 3 or 4 years old and he doesn't have enough vocabulary or enough sense to figure a topic out for of course it could be a huge problem, especially because bilingual children they mix every language. So they mix like both languages, I mean like
Yeah.
Spanish and English. So that could be a huge problem for them. In that case, if they face that problem, actually that's
Uh,
is a it's a barrier for them.
Okay. Well, okay. It's the same way with adults too, because we can pretend that an adult can learn too without a given background. So teachers can also need to give adults a background first in order to them to understand. No one can actually learn without having a background. Well, at the ages of, for example, 3 2, you can assume to give a 3-year-old boy a mathematical, for example, problem to solve of a 7-year-old boy. So we have to state the kind of knowledge and learning the students are going to learn, of course. That
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Juliet. Thank you, Alirio. Now,
Welcome.
does anyone else have another question? Maybe Camilo, maybe
Yes,
Alex?
teacher. Ah,
Okay,
about my
okay.
teen or the other teen?
I don't know.
I-
Whatever you want to.
okay.
You have you have
Yes, I have
another
a
question?
question.
Okay,
Yes,
go.
I have a question. Well, children can imitate sounds very well as they do with their mother tongue, but at the moment they write, and even in grammar, they have many mistakes. Do you think, the question is, do you think that just speaking implies learning English? And the question is for, sorry, uh, let me see, Juliet, because Alex answered the question, huh? Maybe Juliet?
okay. Can you repeat the question? I didn't understand the last part.
Okay. The question is, do you think that just speaking implies learning English?
Just speaking in Christ, learning.
English.
That's the question. English
Do,
learning. Okay. Okay. Well, I believe that we have to take into account the purpose of our learning. For example, if these children need to learn the English for a specific purpose. For example, if his parents are thinking of traveling to another native speaking country, this child needs to focus to that skill to develop. And yes, I believe that children or even adults can learn by speaking. But I will say that adding listening too, because those skills are connected. So we need listening in order to speak, and vice versa. That's my answer.
Okay, excellent. Do you have a counter argument, Viviana, or maybe one of Viviana's partners? Do you have a counter argument? No? Okay.
No, teacher.
Okay. Now, what about, let me check. Olga, is Olga there? Give me a moment. No, she's not. Well, Camilo, what about you? Do you have any questions?
Well, teacher, I have a little question. What do you think should learn a child first? Their mother language very well, or a second language at the same time?
Monica, can you answer that question, please?
Yes, teacher. Please repeat the question. Sorry.
Well, what do you think if a child should first learn their native and more modern language better, getting all the structures and all the things, the grammatical things, or should learn a second language at the same time is learning their native language?
Okay. Well, I think it is easier for a child to learn both languages at the same. Because I say earlier, a child is like a sponge. Yes. He or she learning very quickly. He learning everything he sees and hears. So this is my opinion. That is my opinion.
Okay. Thank you, Monica. Alex, do you have something else to add about it? Maybe to complement Monica's answer?
I guess that children uh, are in a cognitive process where they can learn two languages at the same time because their brain allows to do that. And I guess that is because they associate their languages and can speak then with the time, not when they are child, but they are children, excuse me, but when they are adult, they can assimilate those languages, I guess.
Okay.
I want to
Thank you,
make an
Alex.
interruption in that point.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is for the another team. Anyone can answer. But did you know that according with a research, a bilingual child may speak 3 or 6 months later than their monolingual peers? So that could be a medical problem and that could need a medical assistant. So that's for bilingual children. Did you know that? How can you support that? How can you defend that point against the process the adult process English process.
Sorry, classmate, but I didn't understand the first part that children have what? That bilingual children have a condition
Okay,
or a
okay.
sickness or
Okay,
illness?
I will repeat my question. So according with our research, bilingual children may speak 3 or 6 months later than their monolingual peers, like their mates. So a normal monolingual one can speak like approximately at the age of 18 months, and a bilingual child could speak like after that 3 or 6 months. That could be a medical problem that could need medical assistance. How can you defend that?
Sorry, but I don't understand. Like bilingual children can speak like for the first time later than how many months? 8 months? Sorry,
Yes,
I don't
that's the
understand.
point. Yes, that's the point. Like they may or they might speak 3 or 6 months later, and that could be a medical problem for them.
But later of what? Later of being
Of
born?
or of our monolingual
Or
child.
no, sorry, teacher, I don't understand. Maybe my classmates understand. Sorry, I just don't understand.
Yeah, it's okay. Alex, what about you? Do you have something to say about it? Monica? No?
Uh,
Okay, I think that Aliria's idea is that he's trying to say that imagine that you have two different kids, right? One of them is someone who started learning 2 or 3 languages since he was 1 or 2 years old. And the other one is someone who started learning a language when he was already, I don't know what, a teenager, maybe 15. So the one who started learning English at 15 years old, he grew up as a monolingual child, while the other one who speaks 3 languages is someone who grew up being a bilingual person. But according to Alirio's opinion or the research that he mentioned, there are some researchers that affirm that a child that grew up as a bilingual person could have some problems with speaking their own languages, and that could be like a linguistic problem for them. I think that's Lydia's point, right?
Yes, teacher, that's my point. But just at the first of the life, okay, when the 18 months
Okay, all right.
when we start speaking.
Okay. So the team who's defending the children's age, do you have something to say about it?
Okay, I think I now understand. Well, yeah, it is also well known that even in adults, it is shown that sometimes, well, in some point of the learning process of learning a language, adults start like forgetting their own native language. So I think that it is not just that this happens to kids, but also to adults, if that's what you meant.
Okay. Thank you, Juliet. Now let's do the last question. Juliet, do you have a question prepared?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Wait, give me a moment.
Well, okay, okay,
Don't
no worries.
worry. Camilo is going to answer Juliet's question, okay?
Okay.
Go
Well,
ahead.
since this question was taken from what made Lydia say, but since you are a group, I think that you can answer that. It made a video say that children don't take seriously their learning process, but we can say that maybe when we were child, we didn't learn our native language seriously, but here we are. We are talking Spanish, mm, well, pretty decently, and we are speaking to you a native language too. So how can be those a statement different from when you learn your native language as a child and learning a second language, if you know what I mean. Like you children don't take this learning seriously, but at the end we are able to communicate in our own language. So why can children take that same learning process seriously? That's my question.
Well, if I understood what you said, I think that maybe it's because of the way the teaching process is like focus, I think, because it depends a lot of the teacher, the way the teacher teach the language, and like the goals or the objectives of the teachers in the learning process, because it's like quite difficult to to get involved a child in a better way in learning a language, because children get distracted by a lot of things, and also because they are not using the language to communicate in real life. They are not using the language every day. So because of that, I think that they don't get too much involved, or they don't pay that much attention to learning the language. That's what I think.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. Let's just stop right here our discussion. Thanks to all of you for doing a great performance tonight. And now we're going to continue with the last part of this encounter, which is the conclusion. Now the conclusion is going to be individual. So it doesn't matter if you think that adults are better or children are better and you were defending another point, it's okay. Now you're going to speak from your own point of view, all right? But for that conclusion, you're going to have a maximum of 1 minute. And again, it's individual, and please respect the times, all right? But I need that all of you have your mic off while your classmate is speaking, okay? Only the person who's going to speak is going to have the mic on. And we're going to start with Viviana. Viviana, give us your conclusion, please.
Okay, teacher. Well, I think that the children have big of capacity for learn English quickly, but in way only speaking, because when they are in the process to learn English, they have a lot of mistakes when try to write, try to translate a little text and try to find a definition about whatever word. They have a capacity for learn quickly in songs and interpret the movements, the moves of the body when you say hello and more. But the adults have a more more capacity for the grammar and speak and learn more. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. Thank you so much, Viviana. Great job. Now let's hear Juliet. Juliet, your conclusion, please.
Okay, well, I think that we pretty much clear some points about who is better, who is not. But yes, I think that learning languages as a child is also is easier because there's much less complex information to them to learn and to digest in some way. Because when we are adults, we have to learn to digest that complex information and learn, for example, grammatical rules, and that makes a second language harder to learn. So I think that children can be proud of the self-awareness of of themselves, but they don't doesn't matter about it. So they can enjoy a better
Okay.
and effective language learning. Sorry,
Thank
that's all.
you. Thank you, Juliet. Sorry. Thank you so much for your conclusion. Let's hear Olga. Is Olga here or she's not? Hmm, no, she's not. Okay, let's hear then Monica. Monica, your conclusion, please. In 1 minute.
Okay, teacher. Having listened to the opinions of my colleagues, and personally, I consider that when a person sets a goal, regardless of his age, he achieved it since learning is his own will. There, therefore, we can conclude that the benefits and advantages of learning a new languages like English are present in all stages of life, and not only at an early age, but in fact they increase as our brains become more development, and if a person enjoys learning a language, it is better.
Okay.
It's all.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Monica. Great job. Now let's go with Alirio. Alirio, remember, 1 minute. Go ahead.
Okay, teacher. Okay, so I think that either children or adults they have pros and cons. So it could be like also the background that they have. So that's different. Like that, what kind of exposure they have during the day, during the learning process. So that's also a topic that we have to take in account in this case. And another thing is like maybe they can have different schools, different teachers. So that's also a part that we have to be careful with this kind of learning process. So both have advantages and disadvantages, and that depends of the commitment. In the case of the children, the commitment of the fathers, and in the case of the adult, is the commitment of the adult itself.
Okay, thank you so much, Alirio. Now let's hear Alex's conclusion. Go ahead.
Okay, teacher. Children can learn easier due to their abilities for understand and memorize their concepts. They have more time for learning because they don't have responsibilities, but learning a language as an adult can have different advantages also. Um, because there are different words. I guess when we are child, we think in a way, and when we are adults, we are think in other goals. For example, if you if you want to speak another language, you concentrate your ideas in that goal.
Okay, thank you so much, Alex. Sorry for interrupting you.
Okay.
Thank you. Now let's finish with Camilo. Cami, give us your conclusion of the topic, please.
Yeah, well, teacher, I think that both learning as a child, learning as an adult, both have advantages and disadvantages. In my personal case, I think that learning a language as a child is something very important, and it's important for life, because if you start learning a language when you're young, you are going to develop a lot of abilities and capacities for your life as an adult. Also, it will improve you and will open a lot of doors in order to get a better job, in order to perform in good places, in order to be more able to communicate in an early age. Of course, is when you're an adult, you can of course learn a language, but you haven't done a lot of things that you can do when you were young.
Okay, thank you, Camilo. Great job. Nice, guys. So, this is the ending of our debate. Thanks so much for all of your participations. And I know that I'm already taking more minutes than I'm supposed to, but I'm going to give you a quick feedback and then we can finish. Okay? However, remember that these feedback are just like a couple of recommendations based on your performance, but the actual grade is going to be on your platforms for the university until April 14th. After April 14th, the tutor Liliana is going to share with you a file with your grades for this task. But right now, I'm just going to give you like a couple of recommendations. So for Viviana, great job right there. You didn't have a lot of pronunciation issues. I like the way you managed your performance in the debate. You used a lot of quotes. And actually, I want to highlight the fact that you included a personal experience. And sometimes when we're debating, we think that we're supposed to only talk from a research point of view, but actually personal experiences work really well too as a support for your own ideas. And it's special because we have to take into account that when we're debating, you're supposed to defend an idea from your own point of view. So when you use personal experience as an example, you're doing a great strategy right there. So great job. Only I want to highlight that at the beginning, when you introduced yourself and you said, I born, I don't know if maybe I didn't hear it, but in case you didn't say it, is I was born, okay? Don't forget the verb be right there. But great job.
Thank
Now,
you,
to
teacher.
Juliet. Okay. To Juliet, also a great job. I like how fluent and confident you are when you're speaking. You have a natural way to speak in English, so that's a great point for you. Also, your discussion and the way you support your ideas and the way you try to actually argue with the other team, it was a great job right there too. Good summarizing, good presentation of support team theories. I like the way that you included a theory to support your ideas. That's a good job. So I don't know. I just have good feedback for you. Excellent presentation, Juliet. But
Thank you so much.
But also, as Viviana, when you introduce yourself, again, I don't know if maybe I didn't hear it, but when you said I born, I heard I born. I don't know if you said it right or not, but it's I was born, okay? That's like the only
Okay.
point that I want to highlight. But good job. To Olga, she's not here, so it's okay. Now, Monica. Monica, great job. Only I want to highlight, as I have told you before, I don't know, the pronunciation of the endings of some verbs. I know that when we're speaking too fast, we're focused on transmitting the information, and sometimes we forget the way we're pronouncing. But try to check the way you pronounce the endings of some verbs, and especially when you're talking in third person. But that's it. In the general of your performance, you did a great job with the debate too. I liked that you present some research facts, and that's great. When we're debating, it's important not only to express our own ideas, but also to support them with research background that is based on theories or facts or investigations. So you did it, and that's great. Good job right there. Now, Alirio, you had a great job. Also, I like the way you sound really fluent, natural. You're confident when you're speaking. So great. Only I want to highlight that when you say in the other hand, the right preposition is on the other hand. Okay, that's
And I
the
know.
only thing that I want.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all right. About your performance with the debate, I like, as Juliet said, you use rhetorical questions, you use a good discussion right there. So, great job, great performance.
Thank you.
Now, Alexis, I think you have a good way to speak. I like the fact that you don't rush yourself to speak fast, but also it kind of looks natural or it sounds natural. So great job too. About the debate itself, I think that I want to highlight the fact that as Viviana did, you mentioned examples from real life, and that's a good strategy to support ideas when you're debating. So great job right there, Alexis. Excellent.
Thank you, teacher.
Finally, Camilo. Okay, great. Finally, Camilo, I want to highlight your pronunciation. You sound really great when you're pronouncing. I like the way you pronounce. And also for your performance within the debate, you use a couple of contrast questions. Maybe if time had been more, you could have support those questions even better. But you did a great job summarizing and contrasting. And yeah, that's it. No corrections for you. Great job. So, guys, thank you so much for attending the encounter, for participating so actively. You had a great performance. And I want to know if you have any questions or it's okay for you.
For me, it's okay.
For me, it's okay too, teacher.
It's okay,
For me, it's
teacher.
okay too, teacher.
Perfect. So thank you so much once again. It was a pleasure for me to meet you all, and I wish you the best in your careers. I know most of you are about to finish or near finishing your career, so excellent. Keep improving, keep working. I wish you the best, especially in those days that we're having like a couple of issues in our country. So stay healthy, stay at home, and keep
Yes.
studying, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Have a great
Thank you,
night.
teacher.
Okay,
Okay,
thank
thank
you
you,
so
teacher.
much, teacher. Have a nice
Have a
night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you turn on